and so the coloring wasn't that good. But look at this green grass. Doesn't it look like a carpet? Looks exactly like a carpet. And you know, our poison chaser is really working. The aerosol hasn't been able to make any headway at all today. Well, anyway, Franklin and I had this is a green grass that looks like a carpet. Well, we had a carpet that looked like green grass up in Buffalo. We bought it at Adam Meldrum and whatever, AM&A, Anderson. It's so pretty this time of year. And now the leaves will start coming out with that tender green. See, that's tender green grass, and it gets dark as summer goes on. But the honeysuckle, the leaves are already starting to come out. And these have been great days for airing out the winter clothes. That's 11 through 16. Here's 1 to 10. And they can go to the museum for the summer. Oh, goody, goody, goody. It's spring. Temperature 68. Yesterday it was 90. And there's a chilly wind today. The little girl was heard, little 3-year-old was heard saying the Lord's Prayer. And she said, "Our Father, who does art in heaven." Harold is his name.
The teacher's trying to teach arithmetic. She said to the boy, if you put your hand in your left pocket and you found $10, and you put your other hand in your right pocket and you found $7, what would you have? And he said, somebody else's pants on. Oh.
Folks, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many meese? What's the plural moose? What's the plural moose? See, they're all lined up side by side. It's cute. What is it? They're drinking water? They all seem to be the same age. It's an amazing picture. It's an amazing event. And very lucky picture. Two, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Or is it only 4? No, it's 5. Well, what do you know about it, Sebastian? Yeah, I didn't think so. Here's the 5 peanut butter sandwiches for the 5 raccoons. Every night we do this around midnight. And we're all through scrutinizing the pile of information that came from the workshop on the Constitution, how judges do not follow the Constitution even though they've taken an oath to do so. Therefore they are liable to you. So we finished that today. Here's the half moon, almost half, to watch the sky for us all night. See if we can get him close up. Ain't he pretty? God so richly blesses us. America the beautiful. But every day it is getting less and less beautiful. And are you doing anything about it? To admire means to regard with wondering esteem, accompanied by gratification and delight. Let me ask you, do you have anybody you admire? Do you have anybody that you regard with wondering esteem, accompanied by gratification and delight? That is what our judges should be. Catbird. That's what we should have sitting in every court. A judge that we can admire, that we can regard with wondering esteem, accompanied by gratification and delight. And what do we have? Punks. They cannot read, they cannot write, they do not know the law. They never know the facts. They're there for one reason: to cheat, to lie, to steal. Because that is what the mob who put them there commanded them to do. Who is this mob? I do not know. I think ultimately it's the international bankers. Rothschild, Lazard Frere, Warburg Pincus, David Rockefeller, Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers, the Federal Reserve System, Alan Greenspan, where the green doesn't span as much as it used to, the World Bank, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission. That might be the mob. And what am I doing about it? Well, I keep searching for justice. I keep seeking justice. With the little bit that we have, it's all that we have. Red, white, and blue is now black. And I keep looking for justice. Capper. We have nothing better. I spend hours and ergs and dollars exposing it. Now, it doesn't seem to me, folks, that I can go on TV, on 55 TV stations, from Portland, Oregon to Houston, Texas, to New Mexico, to Buffalo, to New Jersey, to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. It doesn't seem to me that I can keep going on TV week after week after week, exposing these people and putting their names on the screen and putting their deeds in the sunlight and the open air. It doesn't seem to me that I can do that much without something happening. without something happening. At least state judges did not get a raise. No raises for state judges, New York state judges, no raises. Not until you pay us back for ruining our courts. It just doesn't seem to me that I can continue this without something happening. Now, I make a record of it on paper. I make a record of it on TV, and I make a record of it on the internet, on the World Wide Web. What more can you do? There's nobody up on the moon. But I did enjoy looking at the moon last night. That was beautiful. It's always beautiful. I just think that this has to change something. However, there is somebody that I admire. Admirable means exciting qualities of wonder, united with approbation, deserving the highest esteem. Yes, there is somebody I find admirable, and that is our great God. And what is admiration? Admiration is what? What's admiration? Marveling esteem accompanied by delight. And that's our God too. Good going, Oregon. Okay, let's get down to the grit. And this is Glendora Omnibus reply to all four Alphonses by Sorok. And this is part A. And Glendora made 4 Rule 60B, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure motions. Rule 60B, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, is a motion for relief from order. And their caption pages follow. This was the first one. This was the case. This case was in the Harrison Court, Westchester County. John M. Voch was the evildoer there. The appeal number is there. It's Glendora notice of motion and affidavit in support for relief from nullity papers of November the 27th. First went to the New York State analog to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 60B. Relief. Well, you can't say the bad actors are. I'll say them to you. Charles F. Dolan, Cablevision Systems Corporation. James L. Dolan, his son. Mac Budil is hack for hire. Thomas Garger. Charles Forma, and he is former. F-O-R-M-A is F-O-R-M-E-R. Peggy Anderson. Christine Savarino. Cecilia Mastrobilli. Satterley, Stevens, Burke, and Burke, Robert M. Callaghy, now deceased, and Patricia Langelotti. And I couldn't say for relief from order, folks, because it wasn't an order. These dumb clucks, let me give you their names. Angiolillo from Westchester, Kenneth W. Rudolph from Westchester, and Melvin Tannenbaum from Suffolk County, on the Appellate Term, 2nd Department, Supreme Court, State of New York. Didn't sign the paper. They're so dumb they don't know that a paper is not an order until it is signed by a judge, and in this case, 3 judges. Pretty dumb, isn't it? I've not heard from them, but I did hear from a liar for hire named Walter A. Sarrock, who sold his soul to a liar for hire law firm named Satterley, Stevens, Burke, and Burke. Satterley, Stevens, Burke, and Jerk. And so I refuted all 3 of Sarrock's papers. And it took 40 hours, and it cost $116 to print and post. That's with me doing the printing on that little darling, valiant, faithful, loyal Canon desk copier. Well, that was the first paper. The second paper is Glendora Plaintiff Appellant versus Deborah Eacock. Defendant Appellee. And it's a notice of motion again for an affidavit and support and all that, for relief from nullity paper of December the 27th, pursuant to New York State analog to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, and again it's for relief. Again, you cannot say relief from order because it isn't an order. It isn't an order because it hasn't been adjudged. It has not been decided nor determined judicially. It is not an order. It is not a decree. It is not adjudicated. It was not heard. It was a very important document because it preserves your rights under the constitutions, state and federal, and it lets these crooks, these judges, know that they are not going to get away with it. So I want to go back here to page 6 and read that all 4 motions must be grounded on the grounds constitutional, state, and federal. Rudolph, Angiolillo, Tannenbaum have not taken oaths of office. Glendora asked them in open court November 1st, 2006, All Saints' Day. In stony silence they refused to answer, so they are all disqualified and their paper must be quashed. Lippman, McCabe, and LaCava, if they have taken an oath, are disqualified for not having supported the Constitution of the United States of America. Doesn't the oath say, I will protect and doesn't it say that I will protect the Constitution? They have not supported the Constitution of the United States of America, for not abiding by their oaths in the performance of their official duties as required by the oaths. They have perjured their oaths, invoking the self-executing sections of the 14th Amendment. 3, they lose their jobs. 4, they lose their pensions. In other words, vacated their offices and forfeited all benefits of that former office, including salary and pension. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Rudolph. Bye-bye, Angiolillo. Bye-bye, McCabe. Bye-bye, Tannenbaum. Bye-bye, Jonathan Lippman. Bye-bye, John LeCarver. And when did they violate these constitutional rights of Glendora? A, ignoring her complaint. B, ignoring her briefs. C, ignoring her oral argument. D, lying. E, cheating. F, adumbrating. And G, dodging and skirting. And repetitively violating due process of law. What is due process of law? Nobody's going to deprive you of your property, your life, or anything without going to court and getting an order, a judicial decree. And repetitively violating fair and impartial. That is in the Constitution. Everything the 6 of you have spoken, written, and ghostwritten, including your amanuenses, must be impeached. All of your repetitive, unconstitutional, and unlawful actions you are liable for as to job and pension. And who are you? Let me repeat them. Kenneth W. Rudolph, Melvin Tannenbaum, Edward McCabe, Jonathan Lippman, Angiolillo, and John LeCarver. Glendora appeared before this public court as a living, breathing, natural-born American citizen with and claiming all rights guaranteed to her in the federal and state constitutions, and with her name spelled in upper and lowercase letters, capital G, small Lendora, not big caps, which the court uses. Spelled in upper and lowercase letters, not as the fiction you so deceitfully try to masquerade. You did not abide by all the powers and rights guaranteed Glendora and all citizens in the federal and state constitutions, including due process of law. You are bound by your answers at oral argument and on paper. Glendora is fully aware of our rights and the conditions underlying your answers, your speech, and your ghostwritings. You are herein bound by the same. I am talking to you, Rudolph Tannenbaum McCabe, Angiolillo, Lippman, LeCarver. You violated Glendora's civil rights. Title 42 of the United States Code, Section 1983. She was and is entitled to and guaranteed a fair and impartial adjudication, charted by fair, unbiased, and impartial judges, and in a court of record. Do you imagine that the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, the Appellate Term, and the Appellate Division are not courts of record? There is no record. Further, you are in contempt and in violation of Title 42 of the United States Code, Section 1985, conspiracy. You conspired to deprive Glendora of her constitutional right, both federal and state. And your answers will or will not be consistent with your oath if you have taken one. Up to page 10. To be deprived further is your security bond. So learn as soon as I find out how to do it. They are bad risk. Their insurer should not renew them, and without a bond, they can't be on the bench. Paragraph 20 is reserved, and Glendora demands and enforces that all papers be heard, tried, determined judicially, pronounced judicially, settled by judicial decree. In same, you are to act as judges. An adjunct cannot adjudge. Now you know, to adjudge means to decide, determine, pronounce judicially, by decree or by order. They have not done this. This is a very important document. You must understand it, and you must know it by heart. Should anything ever happen to you, that your rights have been violated, that you've been stolen from, that you've been injured, you think you have courts. Well, you don't. You will go to court and you'll find out that there are no courts. That they're totally depraved and stolen and kidnapped. Courts are there to protect you. They do not. Courts do not protect you. You've lost that. People ask, what is the chat with Glendora about? Mainly, it's about the fact that you no longer have courts, which means you no longer have any protection against anybody who violates you. Does that make you cry? Now, we are up to Part B, and this is page 12. Now it is time to penetrate, break, and dissolve to a puddle Sawrock's pablum. Who is Sawrock? He's the liar for hire, who sold his soul to a liar for hire law firm, Sadly, Stevens, Burke & Burke. You are sufficiently devoid of acuity to actuate his addled puffery into your ghost-written muddling. Talking to the judges. Sawrock's emptiness is really not worth my time or yours, except to show Americans the worthlessness to which lawyers, judges, and clerks have sunk. His page 1 demonstrates total lack of skillful management, dexterity, and adroitness. Like you, meaning you judges, he cannot read nor write. The caption is totally illiterate.